Ui, sao rồi? Ui cháy. Xong. Ui. Sập nhà rồi.
The typhoon unleashed its wrath on industrial areas and residential neighborhoods, delivering relentless rainfall that caused severe flooding and landslides.
Yavaş yavaş kareye oturtmaya çalışıyorum.
Typhoon Yagi had already wreaked havoc in the Philippines and China's southern Hainan province, further compounding the region's distress. As typhoons swept across Vietnam, thousands of residents found themselves stranded on rooftops in the northern provinces where floodwaters rose rapidly. Typhoon Yagi, now regarded as the most powerful storm to hit Vietnam in 30 years, has impacted millions, causing power outages for 1.5 million people and leaving widespread devastation in its wake. The extent of the storm's destruction was vividly revealed in a dramatic scene caught on dashcam footage on Monday. In Phu Tho province, the Phong Chau Bridge, overwhelmed by floodwaters, gave way, causing several vehicles to plunge into the river below. By late Tuesday, the water level of the Red River in Hanoi was rising at a concerning rate of 10 centimeters per hour, intensifying fears of additional flooding in the nation's capital.
Nước đang vào. Hình như nó lại lên.
In a contentious development, Vietnamese authorities have attributed part of the flooding to the natural effects of Typhoon Yagi. But local residents have voiced concerns about the release of floodwaters from Chinese reservoirs.
Thôi thì ngập đầu. Không có hiệu của nước rút đâu.
Không rút tí nào luôn.
Em thấy nó lên kinh lắm.
Mẹ có đi ra ngoài kia không?
Some believe that the opening of Chinese floodgates along the border worsened the situation, further intensifying the already devastating flooding in northern Vietnam. Meanwhile, southern China has also been severely impacted by the remnants of Typhoon Yagi. Guangxi province has endured continuous heavy rains for several consecutive days, causing river levels to rise above the warning threshold. Urban areas and towns in Chongsua City were flooded by sudden surges of water, trapping residents and endangering livelihoods. The intense rainfall, driven by the storm's residual cloud system, caused widespread flooding, especially along the Zhujiang River in Guangxi. Although Typhoon Yagi has since weakened into a tropical depression, its lasting effects continue to pose a threat to communities. Authorities have warned that the storm will continue to cause damage as it moves westward, with more flooding and landslides expected. The typhoon, which initially brought powerful winds, has severely damaged critical infrastructure, including bridges, while ripping off roofs, shutting down factories, and submerging vast areas of farmland and urban centers. The destruction is extensive, and the full scope is still being evaluated. In response, the Vietnamese government has urgently issued flood and landslide warnings across 401 communes in 18 northern provinces. In Thanh Nguyen andIen Bai provinces, single-story homes have been completely submerged, prompting many residents to take refuge on their rooftops to escape the rising floodwaters.
Bão về đúng trung tâm bão luôn. Single-story homes have been completely submerged. In Thanh Nguyen andIen Bai provinces, single-story homes have been completely submerged, prompting many residents to take refuge on their rooftops to escape the rising floodwaters. Emergency response teams are working around the clock to rescue those trapped, but the situation remains critical with entire villages isolated from assistance. In response to the disaster, over 4,600 soldiers have been dispatched to the most affected areas to support evacuation efforts and offer aid to flood victims. Military personnel are collaborating with local emergency services to rescue stranded residents, distribute supplies, and clear debris from obstructed roads. Although the government has not yet provided official estimates of the economic impact, preliminary reports indicate that the damage will be significant. Many residents in the coastal cities, where the typhoon first struck Vietnam, have lost their homes, businesses, and personal belongings due to the storm. Entire communities in these areas have been left in ruins, with numerous families now homeless. This storm is considered a precursor to what could become a more frequent and devastating issue in the future, especially in vulnerable regions like Southeast Asia, where communities are often ill-prepared for such disasters.